Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everybody. Welcome to Smart Selangor Cloud Accelerator for Enterprises Scale Webinar 2021. The theme today we have is Accelerating Innovation, Unlocking Opportunities. My name is Fatiha. I'm your MC and mediator for today. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for your participation in today's webinar. I hope you'll be able to enjoy yourself for the next couple of hours, and I hope it will bring some fruitful outcome to you and your organization. For your information, this webinar is the first scale webinar conducted for this year. We hope to basically conduct a couple of more similar webinars in the coming months. This webinar is actually conducted aimed to create awareness among Selangor technology companies about the innovative program that SSDU or SSDU Innovations in Berhad is currently spearheading, which is called Scale. So the program is envisioned to promote the adoption of cloud technologies amongst the Selangor companies. Last year, we actually conducted a physical seminar about this program, and we had about 50 companies who have attended the seminar, where out of the 50 companies, about 7 companies were selected to be part of the program. So this year with Scale 2021, we have realigned the program. We made a couple of changes, and we would like to share those details with everybody today. So this is the agenda for today. I hope to be able to cover these topics for the next 2 hours. So basically now is the welcoming remarks, and we will have a short welcoming video from our host today after this. And today we have 4 speakers from amongst our partners. The first one would be from AWS. Then we'll have a session by MDEC, Mentor Plus program. And the other 2 speakers are coming from Magic and also Cradle. After that, we will have about 5 minutes break around 11:30 a.m. And I will conclude the session with the Scale program journey, where I will elaborate about the program itself and how companies can be part of the program. And we will end it with the Q&A after that. At the end of the session, we will be sending you a survey. I hope that you guys will take the time to answer the survey so that we can continuously improve how the program and how we conduct the webinar. If you have any question throughout the session, please put it in the question section. My team will be assisting to reply to your questions. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, to kickstart the webinar, I would like to play a welcoming video by our host, Dr. Muhammad Fahmi Binlah, the Managing Director of SSDU Innovations in Berhad.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Welcome to the Smart Selangor Cloud Accelerator Program for Enterprises Introductory Webinar. This is the second webinar for the Scale program, where in the first program we've managed to have participants amounting to 54 interested companies. This year, in this program itself, we are targeting more than 100 participants to the webinar. This webinar and the Scale program is ran in conjunction between SSDU, Amazon Web Services, MDEC, Magic, and Cradle. This year, this particular program is focused at developing the smart economy domain under the Smart Selangor Action Plan 2025. The smart economy domain aims to develop a stronger SME ecosystem in Selangor, aims to strengthen the digitalization processes adopted and adoption by Selangor SMEs, and also enabling the creation of new technology and innovation-based industries within the state. In this series of the SCALE program, there are 7 opportunity areas that SMEs could get into and collaborate with SSDU to solve some of the challenges that is faced by the state government today. The first one involves road monitoring and road maintenance. Second, the monitoring and management of public street lights. Third, the monitoring and management of raw water resources to reduce pollution cases and to reduce interruptions on our raw water supply. Fourth is to build SME platforms, a platform that would enable the growth of SMEs faster, quicker, and a means for the state to monitor the growth of these SMEs. Fifth, to develop cashless digital payment systems to be used by SMEs and the public within the Selangor state. The sixth area, which is quite interesting, is to look at building internal government systems within an initiative called Government Approval System. So this looks at internal government systems and trying to improve systems that are used by citizens on a daily basis to make it more convenient and more efficient for approvals to be made. And lastly is to collaborate with us into building what we call the smart digital infrastructure that covers connectivity as well as the data store, in particular the use of more cloud-based technologies to store data and to enable innovation and data sharing within the different entities in the Selangor state government. I think these are exciting and challenging areas that we could collaborate on. I wish you all the best and I hope for your full participation in this program. I think there are incentives that we have prepared for your benefit, and the best part of all is if you've finally come up with a very good solution, it will be used by the Selangor state and easily scalable within the Selangor state to solve our problems and also to give you a greater business opportunity within the Selangor state government. On that note, thank you and have a very good day ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Fahmi. So before we move on to the first speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to brief a bit about the SCALE program. So SCALE, or its full name is Smart Selangor Cloud Accelerator for Enterprises, is an initiative spearheaded by the Selangor state government through its agency called Smart Selangor Delivery Unit, or SSDU Innovations, Senam Berhad, with a vision to empower local IT solutions provider to adopt cloud technology. So the program binds together leading technologies and services and best practices to accelerate cloud adoption among the Selangor local business communities. The program is supported by Amazon Web Services, or AWS, the global leader for cloud infrastructure. So AWS has been our partner for the program since last year, and they have agreed to provide a couple of benefits and programs that we believe that will benefit the local companies, especially those providing solutions related to GovTech, EduTech, and also FinTech. And as since SSDU is continuously looking for solutions and innovations that can contribute towards its Smart Selangor Vision 2025. So we hope that through our collaboration with top-tier digital transformation enablers such as MDEC, Magic, and also Cradle today, participants will be able to be mentored and assisted and maybe be part of a highly engaging, co-innovating pitching community, and at the same time bringing benefit to the Selangor government. So among the program objective that we hope to achieve throughout the year is one is definitely to promote the adoption of cloud technology among industry players, especially in Selangor. We would love to promote innovations, especially those that will benefit the Smart Selangor vision. And thirdly is to assist companies who intend to re-architect their current solution to leverage on a cloud technology, and in this particular program specifically is AWS. This year we have basically refined the program where we are seeking innovation, solutions and proposal among candidates that are looking into the 7 focus areas that Smart Selangor is currently focusing in line with the Smart Selangor Action Plan 2025. So as mentioned by Dr. Fahmi just now, these focus areas are in the area of water supply, road maintenance, smart street light, government internal process system, SME ecosystem, state citizen digital payment platform, and also smart digital infrastructure. So the state is actively seeking any innovation and any proposals from technology companies that could bring benefit to both parties, and hopefully help to achieve the Smart Selangor 2025 vision. Our program partner for this year, we are lucky to have, other than Amazon Web Services, our partners today with us. We have MDEC, Magic, and also Cradle. So each partners will have a session today to speak about their services, their technologies, and also from our collaboration partners, specifically on the programs that can assist and also benefit our local companies today. Among the top list of speakers for today, the first one we're going to have from Amazon Web Services, Mr. Shazli Mansor, Ghazali, who is the Public Sector Solutions Architect. After that, I would like to call Mr. Jesse from MDEC to talk about the Mentor Plus program, building mentor and mentee relationships. And after that, we will have Miss Diana from Magic to talk about the empowering the spirit of entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation. And last but not least, we have Mr. Noor Hisham from Cradle, who will speak about the funding opportunities in Cradle. So I would like to start calling our first speaker for today, Mr. Shazli Mansor. I will pass the screen to him for his presentation. Hold on. So if you have any question pertaining to Mr. Shazli's presentation, do write it on the question section. I will later help to read out the questions to Shazli for his reply. Thank you. Shazli? Hello, my name is Shazli. Shazli, can you? Okay, let me unmute him. All right, sorry. Okay, Shazli, over to you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning. I hope you can hear me. So my name is Shazli Mansor bin Muhammad Ghazali. I'm a solutions architect for worldwide public sector in Amazon Web Services. And today we're just going to talk a bit brief about Amazon Web Services and how we can help our customers to scale to have more success adopting to the cloud. Okay, so we'll just start off with just a brief introduction of AWS with Amazon.com. So Amazon.com started from in 1994 in Seattle, selling mainly books, and it slowly went up to the retail and started selling everything else. And I think if you heard recently, Amazon also is into space travel or the aerospace industry from now on, right? So we've been we've been in the retail business since the beginning, since '94, from selling books. One of the bigger milestones was to sell 1 million books. Now we sell like hundreds of millions of items worldwide. Okay. So Amazon has many businesses, I say, in terms of like retail, artificial intelligence, whole fresh food services. Where we are is actually Amazon Web Services, which is our compute as a service to our customers. So AWS began offering its infrastructure in 2006. So basically, what we learned from managing a big infrastructure to support the Amazon.com retail, we decided to sell compute services to our customers. So basically, for customers who has certain limitations to invest in on-premise infrastructure, we provide compute services to our customers, starting from our storage as a service, which is Amazon S3, to our compute service EC2, and now we have over 200 services to our customers. We provide highly reliable and scalable low-cost infrastructure to millions of active customers over 190 plus countries worldwide. We offer a broad set of global compute storage, database, analytics, application, and deployment services. So we've grown from things like traditional like infrastructure as a service to many other things, to platform service, to artificial intelligence, analytics, and you see even like satellite services, gaming services. So we offer a whole host of compute services for a wide range of applications. So what sets us apart is we've been building and managing cloud since 2006, hence the name Amazon Web Services, because in 2006, cloud computing wasn't as mainstream as it is now. So that's why it was called Amazon Web Services, which is our services delivered over the web. We have over more than 200 services to support any cloud workload. So if you're into things like IoT or analytics or any other compute endeavors, there was probably a service that we can help you there. We have over 2,757 new features launched in 2020. So all our services, we keep on improving, and mainly this is due to customers' requests. So if any new features which customer wants, we actually have a process called product feature request, which will actually try to get support and try to get those features to the customers for their benefit. Global footprints, we have 25 regions and 80 availability zones and 230 plus points of presence worldwide. So if you want to, one is start quickly. There's a region closest to in Malaysia, near to Malaysia, I should say. But if you want to scale worldwide, we can support to almost all the continents except the far reaches continents like north and south of the world, right? We've been reducing prices since 106 times. So any time we get savings, in terms of buying in bulk or in terms of new technologies, we pass that savings to the customers, and we've been having 106 times price reduction since 2006. We understand there are some things that we don't do, or we prefer our partners to do it. So we have over 1,500 public sector APN or Amazon Partner Network partners happy to serve you for things, to make your journey into the cloud much more successful. Okay. In terms of the Magic Quadrant, so we have been a leader in the infrastructure service Magic Quadrants for the 10 consecutive years. So we know we keep on striving to succeed and put more services, mainly to support our customers' use cases. So big customers like Netflix and even our government customers can take advantage of our services for that. In terms of what we serve, so this is just a quick snapshot of what we can do for you. So if you can see, it is many things to do for you to achieve whatever your business goals is. So if you want to have an infrastructure type of infrastructure of codes, if you're just into let me get this data pointer out. So if you are mainly into you want to just have a secure region or secure infrastructure, we can have that with our core services like computes, with our instances. If you want to have a block or object store, or if you want to have like file sharing, we can help you with that. Database as a service. So if you want a relational or NoSQL or time series, or type of document types of databases, we can help you with that. Things like CDN or content delivery network. So if you want to stream things worldwide, not only in Malaysia, but worldwide, and if you want to stream it much more securely, then we can have things like CDN over to any part, to where your customers are. So in terms of, you can see here, security compliance, we have like 10, it's actually more than 10. Why we have so many services for security is in AWS, security is job zero. So everything that we need to do, security has to be in place there. So that's why we put a lot of focus on security, hence the amount of services focus on security on the cloud. We also have management tools. So we know people start off with one or two projects, like maybe a web service, a web server, or things like that. But it will start to grow and grow, especially when your businesses start to gain more traction and more customers. It starts to grow, and management becomes more important. So we have tools to manage your infrastructure much more efficiently. If you want to do different things on the cloud, be it analytics or app services or DevOps, if you're doing in like mobile development with mobile services here. So we can actually help you succeed with all these other services. And for our customers, this type of variety of services help them to achieve their goals. So, and because they are under one platform, the data is easily shared, so you can have really big insights for that. So we have a lot of customers who just start off with basic services, but they go into this big transformation journeys, like things like analytics and DevOps for that. IoT services, very much related with what Smart Selangor is doing. So we want to have things mainly in a disconnected environment, so things like air quality and other things, so that it will get more metrics and help improve the state to achieve the advanced state in 2025. AI and machine learning, if we are into Industry Revolution 4.0, AI is a very big thing where we have the machines to actually think and act much more intelligently to achieve our desired outcomes. If you want to have a virtual office in the cloud, we have virtual desktop sharing and collaboration. Hybrid architecture, we understand, especially with the public sector in Malaysia, not everything can be moved to the cloud, and certain applications where require low latency may be still required to be on-premise, so we have a hybrid solution to support that. If you want to start migrating to the cloud, we have different solutions to migrate to the cloud. And marketplace, so if you want to have services which is not provided by AWS, and we have a marketplace solution for that. And of course, to make you successful, we have our this technical and business support team, from support services to architects to account managers, to help you succeed in your endeavors. So our global infrastructure, we have 25 so far, and the closest to Malaysia is actually Singapore. So we have things like availability zones. We have 80 availability zones in across the world, and 230 plus points of presence. So these points of presence is our content delivery network. So if you are a Netflix customer, and if you notice our streaming of the movies is quite seamless, and mainly because they leverage on our CloudFront or CDN network to deliver all the content, right? So we have so worldwide we have multiple points of presence, and closest is Singapore. Coming soon, maybe this year or early next year, we'll have regions in Indonesia and Japan and Spain to be launched. Okay, so in the previous slide we said something about availability zones. So what are actually availability zones? So we have a region which is a physical location in the world where we have multiple availability zones. So inside a region which is a location worldwide, usually we will refer to a city or somewhere close to that city. We will have a very high throughput, low latency network to connect to the internet. And we have different availability zones here. So you see here we have redundant like internet network connectivity, and we are connected to these different availability zones. So what are availability zones? Availability zones, one availability zone is one or more discrete data centers. So if you see here, it could be one, or most of the time it could be more than one data center. So inside each data center, it's all with redundant power, networking, and connectivity. So let's just say, for example, like this data center, has a number of large number of servers. Then you can do the multiplication. If each availability zone has 3 data centers and there's 9 data centers there, as an example, right? So we provide all this mainly for resiliency and for high throughput. Okay. So this is why if you host it on a network, you don't actually have to worry about data flowing to different countries, because our data centers inside a particular region is actually different discrete data centers which will cater for disasters if required. We have our own global network, which is redundant 100 gigabit Ethernet network and private capacity between all regions except for China because of legal and constitutional reasons for that. So we have all this very fast network, and it's only reserved for Amazon customers only for this, and it's not shared by anyone else. So only for our customers. And we have 80 plus direct connect locations where customer can reach every AWS regions from their local direct connect point of presence. So if you want to tap into our network, and if you want to have a connection directly from your data center to our AWS network, and then we have direct connect partners that can help you with that. Okay, and we have a direct connect location in Malaysia as well. Okay, so in terms of Cloud Continuum, we have different compute constructs for our customers to use, and they are delivering where you need it. So for most use cases, we recommend for you to put it on the AWS region, mainly because we have most of our services are on the region. So if you want to have things like machine learning and analytics, they are all available in our region. However, for certain use cases like low latency or local data processing or data residency, you may need some on-premise infrastructure. So we have AWS Outpost, which is hardware that is very, very much similar to what we use in region, being placed in the customer data center, and you can have a subset of our AWS services on Outpost, and you can manage locally from the AWS console. With a new a compute construct is called local zones. Local zone is sort of like a mini region where there are multi-tenanted compute infrastructure available in certain cities. So the pioneer locations are mainly in US. For certain use cases, customers may need 5G connectivity. So we have AWS Wavelength, where our infrastructure is co-located with our telco partners. So again, the first few use cases are in the United States, where we partner with telcos to provide 5G networks. For more disconnected environments, so we have things like IoT. So there's IoT Greengrass and FreeRTOS. So if you want to have IoT functionalities for your compute workload, we provide certain IoT services for you to take advantage of. If you want to have disconnected compute, so let's just say your compute is not connected to the internet very frequently. So we have a Snow family, which is a very small, like a CPU size server or box, and it is shipped to customers, and then they can do like disconnected computing there. And then if required, you can actually connect to the internet when you can connect to the internet, and after you're done, you just return it to AWS. Okay. AWS is architected for government security requirements. So if you see here, our list of security compliance is a lot. So things, from international standard like ISO, from SOC, for HIPAA, to more localized security like MTCS in Singapore and IRAP in Australia. So so basically we comply to most of the standards that is available worldwide. So in Malaysia, there is we comply to Bank Negara, the Bank Negara outsourcing document. So if you want to have post-site financial data, you can, but you need to we need to let Bank Negara know on that. And we also comply to the local PDPA for this. Okay. So CloudTrail and AWS config. So if you want to know who has been accessing what in our environment, we have things like CloudTrail to do the login, and config to actually ensure that your compute environment is used according to the standard or more popular security standards. Okay. Having said that, there are certain things that make up a security, a compute environment to be very secure. There are things off the cloud and there are things in the cloud. So off the cloud, AWS is responsible for that. That means of the infrastructure, the compute storage database, the networking, our global infrastructure. That is AWS responsibility for all this. Customers' responsibility is what's in the cloud. So in terms of your data, your application access management, who can access the environment, your OS security such as firewall, enabling encryption if required. So these are mainly customers' responsibility. So it's only when these two is combined then you can get the security certification that was displayed in the previous slide. Okay. So industry leaders partners with AWS. So these are a snapshot of our customers that use AWS. So things like Netflix. Very popular now is Pfizer. So a lot of the new companies, especially now with the pandemic, use AWS mainly to accelerate their value to the customers and help manage these pandemic situations, right? Hence, AWS in the public sector is quite important. Worldwide, we have 7,500 over government agencies use AWS, 14,000 educational institutions using AWS. So things like remote learning with students now not able to go to schools or not able to go to campus, we help them with remote learning and other things. Non-profit organizations, with a lot of people needing help, we help customers to serve, whatever goodwill needs that's required. Government agencies, so with the Malaysian government announcing My Digital, we are helping them to reach their goal of migrating 80% of workloads to cloud. Okay. So in terms of government and non-government non-profit organizations, public sector customers. So these are some of our customers. So if you have been following the Mars rover Perseverance, those data that is in Mars are streamed to Earth and processed on AWS. So you can see what the Mars rover is doing. All right. So and people like CDC and others that helps with the public sector customers. Related with our host, Smart Selangor. So Smart Selangor released the Citizen e-payment or Cepat services. I think it was like 2 years ago. That is running on AWS, where you can pay any of the government service, or state government services via your preferred e-wallet. So you can go to one place which is Cepat, the mobile platform, and pay your services. This is built up of AWS services such as EC2 and others to make this a success. Early this year, we also had Smart Selangor partnering us to deploy a smart digital infrastructure. So Smart Selangor wanted to have this hybrid infrastructure to serve the state's infrastructure requirements. So things like low latency application and also local data residency requirements. So Smart Selangor is the first entity in Malaysia that uses our outpost. So we delivered our outpost to Smart Selangor early this year to deploy certain services that requires local data residency here. So please you can contact us or Smart Selangor on how we help Smart Selangor with this hybrid infrastructure. Okay. So some of the trends we see why Malaysian public sector goes towards the clouds, and this has been seen even before for the pandemic, is that so these are the main things which we see why public sector wants to go to cloud. So things like digital services, citizen services, where they want to have things to be online and quickly processed and quickly accessed by the citizens in the country. So these are some of the things. So aging infrastructure, budget constraints, where capex budgets is very hard now. So things for moving for operational expenditures, economic development, for science research, IT security, data explosion with the amount of data that is that's coming with social media and others. Internet of Things, AI machine learning and blockchain to have like a very viable like supply chain tracking. So that's why when customers, especially public sector, when they first start, they will start with something small. So things like development and testing. So maybe so traditionally you will need to have a separate like hardware environment for development testing. But with the cloud or AWS, you can actually have spin out a dev test very quickly. If you want to move storage from on-premise to cloud as data is exploding quickly, DR. If you want to have a clone of your on-premise services on the cloud, analytics, which is more of related to the amount of data that is available on the cloud, AI machine learning. So certain things like AI machine learning requires specific and high performance infrastructure such as graphics processor, which can be quite costly, and two is a bit you need high maintenance for that. So you can leverage the cloud to do that. But mainly for these fluctuating, spiky, part-time and sector online services. So if you see, especially with the pandemic, there are certain e-services which is need to be available up quickly and bring down like rather quickly as well. So they need to be up very, very soon, like a couple of weeks, and brought down maybe just either a couple of months to a year. So these are the things where having a dedicated hardware infrastructure may not be appropriate, and you just want to have this compute resources just on that time, right? When organizations may move to cloud, generally they move with typically a four-stage approach, which is a project, which is started with small projects. Then they start to build the team and set the foundation for a cloud infrastructure in their organization. Then they start to migrate their workloads from on-premise to the cloud, and after they start to optimize and get better, more modern services like serverless and containers and other technologies there. So AWS, we help with that. So we realize for project, we can help out with proof of concepts, and give, quick help for you to start maybe one or two small projects. Once you start to scale, then we can help you to build the foundation for you to support the cloud workloads in your environment. When we can help migrate to the cloud, so we can have, if you have a large on-premise infrastructure, we can help formulate and help migrate all these workloads to the cloud, and then we can optimize. One is to take advantage of modern compute or modern technologies, and two is to try and optimize the cost for you. So as much as we want to help customers to save costs on AWS. So in terms of skills enablement, we have a lot of training and skills which is available for you. So things like training certification if you want to build skills, and have to verify that that you can manage the cloud and develop on cloud appropriately. We can help manage services for you. If you want to have projects that you want us to help you, we have professional services. We have partners that can help you if you want to have much more localized and much more custom services for you. Support is available for you to help out with any technical requirements. You can have on-demand help from third-party experts from the AWS console itself with AWS IQ. And you can purchase third-party services from AWS Marketplace. So people they want security products or productivity products, they can actually get this from the marketplace, and you just pay to AWS, and we pay to our partners on your behalf. So basically, what we recommend is be selective on which apps to transform, design, and build a service management framework to enable your cloud model. So you need to have a framework or that foundation to operate your cloud with, and choose partners that can guide you, bring skills and experience. So you will need partners to actually help you along the journey and to make sure that you are successful. Okay. So there are one-way or two-way doors. So traditional infrastructures, basically if you want to have a project, and then you invest a lot, and if something's wrong with the project, it's hard to go back on the project. So with AWS, we help you with two-way doors. So you just pay for what is. If it doesn't work, you can stop it and try another way of going to starting the project. Okay. So with AWS, you can start small and move fast. You can start quickly with reference architectures, extend and innovate quickly like Amazon. Okay. Okay, so a brief snapshot. I will just go through some of our customers in Malaysia itself, how we help them with their journey. So people like Astro, basically we help them to make to build a cloud center of excellence for them to actually build and scale up their products much more quickly. Okay. If you're using Boost, we help them with their e-wallet in terms of building a data lake and data warehouse, so they can provide insights and give much more better and tailor-made services for their customers. ValueMud. So if you have seen ValueMud, so basically we help them to modernize the infrastructure. So rather than going with just like traditional spreadsheets and things like that, we help them to have a more connected hypermart across the country to keep costs low. If you are into digital contents, then a customer amazing Fable, they help write and disseminate children's books. So what they use our Amazon Poly to actually read the books to students. So it's not just reading, from the visually, but it will actually read out to you voice vocally. So you can actually, someone will actually read to you the storybook, which I found quite interesting. 123RF, so they are more of a design outfit, where they will help customers design their application, design their services. We stock photography, for customers, and they use our services like Poly to actually help, similar where they can use our text to voice services to actually give much more services to the customers, and they're going into artificial intelligence and machine learning to give more smart solutions for the customers. So with that, I'd like to end my presentations, and thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to the floor.
Thank you, Shazli. Okay, so now I'm opening the webinar for any questions from the participants. I'm actually opening the question segment. There is no question posed there. Anyone wants to ask any specific question pertaining to the AWS presentation just now? You can also speak up if you don't want to write in the chat or in the question section. Any question? All right, if there is no question, then maybe I'll move forward to the next segment. I'll invite the next speaker. But if you somehow do have a question that you would want to ask, just feel free to write it down in the question section, then we will read it out for you later. So let me share. So the next speaker is going to be our partner from MDEC, Mr. Jesse Chooi Z Kheong, who's going to talk about MDEC Mentor Plus. For your information, this year with the new 3 partners we have, MDEC, Magic, and also Cradle, all the participants that are selected to be part of this program will be channeled or in a way forwarded or enrolled into the programs organized by our partners. Those who are eligible with the requirements and such will be forwarded to the partners for them to basically evaluate, and if the companies are selected to scale program and they are interested to also be part of the partners program, SSDU will be more than happy to assist the companies to apply to be part of that program organized by the partner. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Mr. Jesse. Yeah, Jesse, over to you. Let me see whether I can unmute you first. Sorry. Yeah, you are not muted. Jesse? Yeah.
Hey, a very good morning to everyone, and thank you so much, SSDU, for inviting MDEC to this launch of the Scale program. Just give me a minute, yeah, to put it on our slideshow. Yes, so I think certainly what what SSDU is doing for Selangor is very exciting. Smart city and its solutions is always an exciting area, and in fact, MDEC has also worked on smart city solutions sometime in the past. And we certainly look forward to this collaboration as the Scale program, right, enables more entrepreneurs and technologists to come together and deliver solutions for the benefit of everyone in Selangor. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a program, a mentoring program, and a platform as well that we have started this year, right? And this program came about because we realized that mentoring is a very important part of entrepreneur development, and whilst the mentoring efforts of the industry has always been there, we felt that it is useful for MDEC to actually take on a more proactive role to actually recruit mentors and mentees into a platform so that everyone can benefit from the what I would call perhaps the visibility, right, of knowing who is who in the ecosystem. So just take you through very quickly on what this program is all about. It's called Mentor Plus, right? And it is hosted on a platform provided by a company called Future Lab, right? Future Lab is one of the startups that we have in our ecosystem, and they specialize in providing mentoring platforms. So Mentor Plus under the GAIN program of MDEC, right? It's
Sorry, Jesse.
yeah.
I think we cannot see your presentation. Is it in presentation mode?
Yes, it is.
Could you just make
You
sure
can't
that you
see
are
it?
showing
Oh, sorry.
the
How do I do
presentation?
that?
Yeah, at the show. Sorry.
Hang on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to make it. How do I take it to present? I click on
Show
this.
Microsoft slideshow.
Okay, hang on. Show Microsoft, showing Microsoft PowerPoint. So I will give. Oh, okay. Hang on. Microsoft PowerPoint. If I clicked on the, can you all see
So
anything?
that's the second screen, I guess. Is there an option for show slideshow?
Show. Shop showing screen. Show slideshare. I've pressed on the slideshow actually.
Yeah, now
Maybe,
we can see. Now we can see.
yeah, is that okay?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, let me just go back a couple of slides. So this platform that we mentioned is hosted on the Future Lab platform, right? One of the startups in our ecosystem. And the whole purpose of this program is really to allow mentors in the ecosystem, experienced mentors, to do something what we call a pay forward initiative, right? To as they have been successful in their entrepreneurship journey, it is time for them to also pay forward some of those learnings and some of those key experiences to new and budding entrepreneurs, right? To share the journey, to share the details that sometimes are not visible in media, right? Things that the struggles that they go through, the thought processes, and how they actually overcome some of their challenges. And we believe that this is important and valuable learnings for the entrepreneurship community to grow. So as far as the program is concerned, the program is run on a 6 months basis. It started in June, and we expect it to be completed by somewhere end of November. So it's very simple to take part in this program. First of all, mentors and mentees that have been identified by us are then invited to sign up into the platform, right? And for the mentors, they can have two ways of mentoring mentees. They can either do a one-to-one, right? Or they can do a one-to-many, up to 5, right? And the platform allows for mentors to actually jot down all the points that they have encountered during the mentorship session with the mentees. And then even for the mentees themselves, they will also have the opportunity to jot down the feedback after each session. So both mentor and mentees are able to share their own learnings, their own observations about the session, and they can then move forward from there. So as part of the registration process for mentors and mentees, mentors obviously have to put their profiles there, their experience, the work experience, professional experience as well, and the mentees as well, their professional experience in regards to their startup. And so the program within the 6 months, we have budgeted for 150 slots, right, for both mentor and mentees to use. And of course, at the end of the 6-month period, MDEC will do an evaluation with everyone, right, both mentors and mentees as well. So in fact, the evaluation is also happening on a regular basis, whereby we will talk to both mentors and mentees after each of their sessions to gather more in-depth feedback. So there is no cost to join this program, right? And it's by invitation, both mentors and mentees. So for mentors, the minimum requirement we understand that many professionals and mentors included are very busy. So we are basically asking for a minimum commitment of one session at least in a month, right? And keep to the appointments with the mentees, and at least 30 to 60 minutes per session. And similarly for the mentees themselves, we would like to encourage them to use at least this platform to spend about 2 hours, right, talking to mentors, and of course to keep to their commitment of meeting the mentors. So the platform itself will allow for mentors and mentees to be matched in the initial phase, right? And from there, the mentors and mentees can then request to meet one another in the platform. So how does the one format works. First of all, MDEC, we will highlight the mentors profiles in the platform itself, right? And mentees will be able to see that. And the system will perform preliminary match. So once a mentee signs up in the platform will then do a suggestion on which are the mentors that can potentially interest the mentee, right? And so from there, the mentees can then approach the mentor depending on their availability schedules, and then they can then proceed on to the meeting within the platform. Um, so mentors will need to set their availability in the platform, right? For example, they may want to set I'm available for an hour every second Tuesday of the month, right? So they can set that availability, and mentees can then book that slot if it's available, right? So of course, the key thing here is to capture the learnings from both sides, and as well also to give some sort of a rating, mutual rating and feedback to one another. Now, apart from the one-to-one formats, mentors are also able to do on a group basis, right? Up to 5 participants. For example, mentors may see that they have talked to 5 mentees and they realize that there is a common need among the 5 of them, right? And the mentors can then also choose to speak to all 5 of them, right, at one go, using the facility provided in the platform. So the platform also has an integrated video call facility for up to 5 participants. Okay. So moving on, here is an example of one of the mentors we have in our platform, Mr. Roy Kheong from Alliance Bank, Head of Strategic Partnerships and Innovation. So Alliance is of course more than just a bank today. They have programs to also help entrepreneurs or SMEs, right, to move forward in their business by being their partner. Roshan from Leaderonomics, perhaps known to many of us, right? He's also a pro bono mentor on our platform, and he recently conducted the first monthly session for us, and the turnout was quite encouraging, with over 50 people attending this the monthly session. So as I was mentioning earlier, we have a monthly program. Once a month, we will invite 2 of the mentors in our platform to do a sharing, right? First mentor will share about insights on a certain topic, for example, leadership. And the second mentor will talk about his personal experience in leadership, running his company, right? So this session is open to all startups, and it typically lasts for about an hour or so, right? So this was the first monthly session that we had with 2 of our mentors. It was called the Leadership Edition, held on 30th of June from 10 a.m. And we had the opportunity for Roshan to share about his take on the points of leadership, the principles of leadership, right? And then we also got Mr. Lam Manchong, founder and CEO of Self-Driven, as well as a few other companies that he has founded, to share on his journey on how to motivate his employees to do extraordinary things. So the next webinar we have, the next monthly session we have is actually coming up this Friday, right, via Zoom as well. And we have two mentors in our platform. The first one is Mr. Bayu Shanting. He is the Group CEO of Domino's Pizza in Malaysia, Singapore, and Cambodia. He'll be sharing on the topic of recipe for success, and then followed by Johari Mustafa, a well-known entrepreneur in the telco and content space, right? talking about growth and challenges in scaling the business. So just before I end, this is a snapshot of all the mentees that we have currently signed up into our platform. As you can see, they come from many different industries, many different technologies, quite well spread. Of course, there's quite a number of them around the IoT and AI space, business applications, as well as fintech. And some of the areas that the mentees have expressed interest to learn would be things like business strategy, negotiation, global market expansion, alternative financing, fundraising, digital marketing, and tech advisory as well. So ladies and gentlemen, this is again just to show you some of the mentors that we have onboarded. This is not exhaustive. There's more. So we would like to encourage all the entrepreneurs out there, especially the young startups, right, to consider joining us in this Mentor Plus platform, whereby you'll be able to tap on the knowledge and experience of these mentors from our ecosystem. We also have mentors from the Philippines as well. Those of us who are interested to look at growth of your business beyond Malaysia, you can also talk to some of our mentors from the Philippines. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will end my session this morning. I thank you so much for this opportunity to share. If you would like to attend the July webinar on Friday, do drop me an email here, all right? Or you can also reach out to our friends at SSDU as well for the webinar link. So thank you again so much for your attention, and I'm open to take questions now.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, so I would like to open the floor for a question. Just now, after Jesse has started, there's actually one question posed for AWS. Shazli, I'm reading it for you. Hi, I'm Lam from Myson Solution, a business software solution provider. I would like to ask AWS how to become an AWS service partner so that we can make use of the features and capability to enhance our purpose-built business solution for our client. Shazli?
Yeah. So thanks for the interest in becoming our partner. So we have, in terms of registering for our partner, we have our AWS Partner Network, which you can just go to the portal and register to become a partner. So you can actually go to the portal and register. But more, if you can, please, I think we'll give our number, or you can contact me. Then we'll just. I think it's best that we talk and then we just see how we can help you to become a partner in AWS. So in terms of partnership, there are various tiers where you can of levels to become an APN partner. So we can so just contact us. We have our APN network. Just Google for AWS APN and you can see our partner network programs there, right?
Thank you, Shazli. So, Mr. Lam, what I'll do is that we will send you an email separately to give you the contact details of Mr. Shazli for you to contact. Yeah. Okay. Another question from Mr. Hatim Alam. This is for Jesse, Mr. Jesse. How do I register for Mentor Plus program?
Yeah. So what you can do is you drop me an email, right? And then we'll walk you through the process. Yeah, you can drop me an email. My email ID is here, this slide here. Drop me an email, and then we'll walk you through the process.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's another question for AWS. This is from Mr. Abdul Kadir Hairi. We have already received a startup credit from AWS under AWS Activate. Do we able to receive other credits if we are accepted into this program? Oh, actually, this is not a question for AWS. It's more of a question for SSDU. I think there shouldn't be any problem because this credit that we are giving out is under a specific collaboration between AWS and SSDU. So we don't see any reason for why it cannot be given to your company. Okay, there's a question from Mr. Chong Ming Chuan for MDEC. Hi, Terry here, one of the solution service provider. May I know how do we register for the 6-month program from MDEC? So I think the answer is do drop an email to Mr. Jesse. His email address is there on the screen, and he will guide you how to basically be part of that program.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Okay, and then there's another question for you, Mr. Jesse. Would we be able to attend Gain Mentor webinars by registering as a mentee or a mentor? This is a question by one of the participants.
Yes, yes, definitely. Once you're registered as a mentee or a mentor, you will certainly be able to attend all the monthly sessions that we have. And if you are an entrepreneur yourself, if you have your own, technology company, your own startup, you can also join our other programs as well. Apart from mentoring, there's other programs such as the Market Access Program, the Funding Facilitation Program. And these programs were basically designed to help tech startups, tech companies to reach out to regional markets as well as to raise funding if that's the requirement from your side.
Okay, so when they drop you an email, they can actually state their interest whether to become a mentee or a mentor. Is that correct?
Yes, they just simply tell us you want to, let us know how you would like to take part in the program as a mentee or a mentor, and then we will walk you through the process.
Okay, all right. All right, there's no more questions from the floor. Let me just double confirm that. Yes, okay, we have covered all the questions as of now. All right, thank you, Mr. Jesse, for your presentation. Now I would like to call upon our next speaker, Ms. Diana from Magic, to talk about empowering the spirit of entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation with Magic. So let me, hold on, trying to, okay, pass it over to Diana. Diana?
Hi everyone.
Morning, Diana. Okay.
Hi, morning.
Can you
So just wanted
share your
to,
screen?
yeah. Hi everyone. Good morning, and thank you to SSDU for inviting me to speak at today's event, and thank you also to Shazli and also Jesse for your sharing. I think it's really, really useful for our entrepreneurs today. So my name is Mydiana Madzlan. I am the manager from the Ventures Partnerships Department. So let me just start to say that entrepreneurship is a journey, and it is driven by passion, it is driven by need, it is also driven by the endless possibilities of creativity and innovation. So entrepreneurship really, it lies within you as an individual, as a co-founder, as a business person, and is supported by the thriving ecosystem that enables your growth. So Magic caters to the nurturing and development on your capacity building as part of your entrepreneurship journey. And Magic was established since 2014, and since then, we have resulted with our successes based on the numbers as of 2020 presented in the slides. So we have created over 1,000 programs and accelerated over 1,600 startups and SE. SE means social enterprise. And we have partnered over 120 plus over partnerships with the ecosystem partners, including of the likes of SSDU for this particular scale program. And these numbers are growing day to day, and we would like to be part of this journey of yours. Magic, our key strategic pillars, caters to focusing on talent development, so which means capacity building, capacity development to help you grow, to meet your needs in developing your product, into going to scale and growing further into growing in the region. We encourage on collaborative entrepreneurship amongst ecosystem builders, among ecosystem enablers, and also peer-to-peer within the startup groups. When we also facilitate in terms of providing access to investments or access to funding via our investor partner network. So Magic itself, we do not invest in companies, invest in startups and the co-founders. However, we have our investor partner network that we can connect you to them. So just a quick snapshot on Malaysia's startup ecosystem. So we had MDEC that presented earlier. So they're a closed government agency that we work alongside with, among others, as you can see over here. Later, you will be listening to our colleague from Cradle that will be sharing more about the funding opportunities and programs that Cradle offers. In the case of AWS, for example, they will be fall within the corporate segment, as you can see over there. Bearing in mind the list and the logos over here that's presented is non-exhaustive, and the list is growing much more as the years go by. So as I mentioned earlier, Magic, we cater to supporting all stages of the startup's growth, from the early stage, middle stage, and up to the late stages of the growth. In the early stages, we cover in terms of the ideation and validation, help you to get started in developing your ideas via our programs from Online Academy, from Magic Academy, Startup Weekend Hackathons, and we provide opportunity for you to have pitches with our investors and also ecosystem partners during the Grill or Chill. So this is a monthly event that if you are interested to gather feedback from your pitch, this is a good opportunity for you to be part of. Apart from that, we also cover the eNation Symposium. So eNation, the word E over here, which means entrepreneurship. It is currently ongoing for this year. We are starting our series 3 on the 26th of August. So that will be themed around tech for good. So if it's something that you are interested in to learn, I encourage you to go and sign up for the eNation event via Magic's website. We also cater for the middle stage of your growth in terms of product development and also efficiency via our bootcamp programs and also mentorship programs. Jessie mentioned earlier that they also offer Future Lab mentorship platform. So this is another avenue for you to consider. For the late stages, if you have already a product that is commercialized in the market and wanting to scale further, growing into the ASEAN region, we offer that program as well via our ACE. And if you have opportunity to go into market access via our NTIS, that's also an avenue for you to consider. So within the NTIS ecosystem, via that platform, you can explore connections with the corporate partners to run pilot projects or POCs for them. And the ones benefiting it is actually both parties, which is the corporates and yourself. Startups can apply for the grants with the NTIS. I will touch a little bit on this in my next slides. These are some of the courses under the massive online open courses that we have held in the past webinars. So there's more than what you see here, definitely coming from the technology aspect, coming from the legal aspects. about design thinking. How do you inculcate that mindset of design thinking within your organization, and also topics like accounting, funding, new emerging technologies. These are all covered in our webinar sessions. Do check it out on our Facebook page as written in the slides above. As part of our Magic's partnership team, where I am responsible in, so we cover the different interventions, if I could call it, in the 5 key areas: market access, publicity and promotion, funding, mentorship, and also peer-to-peer connections. So for market access, we have something called Global Market Fit Program. If you're interested to go into other markets for this year, it's focused on Indonesia, China, and also in the US. I think the Indonesia session is already, application is already closed, but you can look forward to the others. For NTIS, I will touch a little bit in my later slides. We have a next year Corporate Accelerator program that is currently ongoing. So if you're interested to pitch to the corporates, I believe they have corporates onboarded of the likes of Spritzer, Allianz, and also SW Foods. So SW Food, they produce rice. So if you're interested to explore in that, do check it out. Some other programs, initiatives, well, currently we are in partnership with SSDU to run the skill program. So publicity and promotion. So publicity and promotion, we help to feature or give visibility for you as a startup to be published in our regional media partners publications. However, for you to be qualified for this, you need to be part of our Magic alumni group. So that means that you need to register yourself in one of our events, one of our programs, and you'll automatically be labeled as one of our alumni members. And then we can have further chat to understand your needs and whether or not it fits to the themes that we want to cover within our media publicity and promotion. For funding, we have partners of the likes of Found8 and TechNode. So Found8, we have the Meet the VC session. It is currently ongoing. TechNode Live's the pitch. It's something that you guys can look forward to. It's a monthly pitching event that we coordinate together with TechNode. And per pitching session, they only limit to about 6 participants. Has been a lot of very, very good traction from the Malaysian startups joining this live pitch. I believe the next pitch for July is already closed, but the August one will be opening up soon. Yeah, so for mentorship, we also cover under the Next Year Entrepreneurship Program. This is currently ongoing. We have the Future Lab Mentorship Program as well, and also under our Global Accelerator Program called GAP. So GAP is one of our flagship programs that Magic offers. Currently, we are running on our 5th cohort, and if you're interested to join in this, you may look forward to the next intake. For peer-to-peer connections, we love to connect between startups to explore in collaborating together, and it's something that we constantly do for our startups today. A little bit about NTIS. We are looking for more and more solution providers to be part of this NTIS ecosystem, and we have over 2,000 applications on our system already, and we are looking for more. The top 3, I would say, solution providers in terms of categories is in the areas of number 1, medical and healthcare. Number 2 is on agriculture. And number 3 is on banking and financial services. So if you would like to be part of these solution providers within the NTIS ecosystem, please do register. I encourage you to register via the website sandbox.gov.my. So the advantage is that you, as a startup, you're able to apply for the grant, and the grant is structured in the different tiers presented over here. So it is depending on the number of sites that you would like to do the testing. So the purpose of the NTIS is to encourage innovation, new technologies to be tested in a real environment. And the real environment is a safe environment which our corporate partners provide. So if you're interested to be part of this, please do register and explore. So I have come to the end of my slides. Thank you very much. I'd like to open the floor for questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Well, I do have a question coming from me. I just want to confirm the NTIS that you mentioned just now, it is a grant. Is that it?
It is a grant. Yes, there is a grant. So the funding amount, as you can see over here, there is a cap to that. If you are, say, for example, running a testing with, for example, Felda. Yeah, so Felda is one of our corporate sandbox partners, and you want to do testing in a particular land site that they own. For example, if it's a ground robotics vehicle to do seeding or to do the fertilization activities, right? So you can apply for that particular grant. There is a requirement though, and more details on the requirement and eligibility criteria is available on the website itself. So the duration of the project is 6 months. However, depending also on what you have agreed together with the corporate partners, it could be less or a little bit more than the estimated duration of 6 months.
I see. Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions from the floor? I mean, you could write it up inside the question section if you do.
If you are shy, you can always write to me at mydiana@mymagic.my.
Mydiana at
I know there's a lot of my's. Let me just repeat that. It's mydiana@mymagic.my.
Okay, all right. So I'll just put, yeah, it's also written in the chat section there. So if you
Yep.
do have any other question, do write to Diana. And the website for the grant, so the NTIS just now was supposed to be what? Sandbox, is it?
Yeah, it's
.gov.
over there. It's sandbox.gov.my.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me just double confirm if there's any question, because sometimes the question comes in a bit late. Okay, no
Sure.
question, but if you do have any questions throughout the session, do write it in the question section, and then we will read it out for you. Okay, thank you, Diana, for your
Thank you.
short and sweet presentation. So now moving on, I would like to invite Mr. Noor Hisham from Cradle to talk about the funding opportunities in Cradle.
Hi.
Over to you,
Can
Hisham.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you show
You
your
can see
screen?
my slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let
Could you
me
help to make it like full screen? Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, over to
All
you,
right. Thank
Hisham.
you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Fatia. Thank you so much, SSDU, for inviting Cradle to join for this scale webinar session. It's good to see our partners, AWS, MDEC, and also Magic for the earlier sharing. So now I will proceed to the Cradle funding opportunity that's still available in Cradle. My name is Hisham. I'm the head of the Stakeholder Engagement and Partnership. I'm also overseeing on this Cradle initiative to provide a funding opportunity to the startup ecosystem or tech-based company in Malaysia. So basically, for Cradle, we have two types of funding opportunity currently. In fact, under the scale program, the focus area, for example, like the IoT, the smart city, is all fall under the tech-based sector that we're looking at. So we have two types of funding opportunity here that could help the startup to commercialize and accelerate their business. Number one is CIP Ignite. We have two types of CIP Ignite. One is CIP Ignite 1, the other one is CIP Ignite 2. So what is the difference? For CIP Ignite 1 is more focused on developmental, whereas CIP Ignite 2 is more focused on the commercialization. The CIP Ignite 1, why is developmental? Because we focus to validate the prototyping for market readiness for the deep tech startup. So as I mentioned earlier, we not only focus on tech-based startup, we also focus on local SME and also spin-off company from university and research institute that would like to change, that would like to propose a technology that can accelerate business activity or any social impact to the society. So the Ignite 1 is more focused on deep tech, and the Ignite 2 is more focused on other than deep tech sector. So what are the elements that we look into if you are considered as deep tech? So we consider there is a 4 element that you need to fulfill under our definition. Number 1, the scientific discovery or engineering innovation. Number 2, you require an R&D. Number 3, process fundamental and defensible scientific engineering. And number 4, your deep tech innovation are well protected by IP and hardly to be reproduced by any other competitor. So these are the definition of 4 elements that you must meet in order to consider you as a deep tech. If you are not fall under these 4 elements and you are still a technology company, then you will fall under our CIP Ignite 2, which is a tech-based startup or tech-based company, right? So, sorry. All right. So what are the eligibility criteria that we look into when you want to apply for the Cradle CIP Ignite? Number 1, you must be a Sdn Bhd. Your accumulated revenue since your incorporation is not more than 5 million. The shareholder in the company cannot be owned by no other company can become your shareholder and hold more than 25%. And then the minimum paid up capital for the company is 10,000. Followed by must have an IP right. If you are still in the midst of registering your IP, you also must have a confirmation letter of the right to use the IP. And you have a minimum 2 directors. One of the directors is a Malaysian, and the shareholding, the very, very important part is minimum 51% owned by a Malaysian. Okay, I understand some of the startup, their partners or their shareholder is a foreigner, but for Cradle, we are okay with that as long as the 51% or more is owned by a Malaysian. So these are the focus that we look into. However, this focus is just for the guideline, but the list is not exhausted list because as long as you are considered a tech-based and you focus more on, like, for example, current sector that are very famous, medical, healthcare, next-gen engineering, smart city, biotech, smart engineering. So these are, and also 5G, 6G, 4D. So these are the sector that currently are famous and being focused throughout the agency and also by the ministry and supported by the ministry. So why I mentioned earlier, the difference is only on the spending part, because CIP Ignite 1, a minimum 80% will be spent through your developmental expenses, whereas the remaining 20% for non-developmental expenses, whereas CIP Ignite 2, your minimum 60% is for the commercialization expenses. So what are the difference? Sorry. Hold on. So what are the expenses that fall under the developmental and also commercialization for the CIP Ignite 1? The developmental expenditure is, for example, your certification, your prototyping, your design, specific software, your registration of the IP. So this all is fall under the developmental expenditure. And for the commercialization, it's more like the OPEX, your rental, advertisement, production, raw material, and also marketing. So these are the things that fall under the commercialization expenses. Sorry. So how to apply For CIP Ignite, it's all online application. You just go to our website, www.cradle.com.my, and then you can click CIP Ignite, and then you can fill in the form. Once you fill in the form, you will be called for shortlisting to our pitching session. You'll be given a slot. It's a 5-minute pitch slot. Then after you're shortlisted or you are shortlisted for the pitching session, there are a few series of interview before you being approved by our board committee. So the next one is the CIP Accelerate. What is the difference is only the quantum. CIP Accelerate will give you a grant up to 2 million, and it's more focused on the deep tech. Why? We can say that CIP Accelerate is actually a continuity grant from the CIP Ignite 1, and it more focused on the commercialization activity, because we understand some of the deep tech, when they do the commercialization activity, 500,000, some of them is not enough, because they have to pay, for example, the raw material might be pricey and the technology behind it might be costly. So that's why the CIP Accelerate is given grant up to 2 million. The eligibility is the same, and the funding focus is also the same. The expenses of funding utilization is the same like CIP Ignite 2. 60% minimum must be for the commercialization activity expenses, whereas the remaining 40% is for the non-commercialization expenses. So similar like earlier, you have like licensing, subscription, OPEX. I just want to highlight that here, even though this all is the allowable expenses, but each category they have the capping. So you don't have to worry if you are being selected, shortlisted, and then be recommended to be approved. Our analysts will help you in terms of restructuring and also managing your expenses. How? Because these expenses or this grant will be for the milestone 1 until milestone 4, it's going to be reimbursement. Only the first disbursement or mobilization will be give up to 10% of the total grant approved. But then it will be deducted during your milestone 1 claim. However, the whole process is going to be reimbursable. So you have to bear in mind, this is not an upfront money. Only the mobilization is the one that we give advance, right? So it's a bit different from the CIP Ignite. For CIP Accelerate, you can email your pitch deck to cipaccelerate@cradle.com.my. So once you email to the email given here, the analyst will take, I think, 3 to 7 working days to review, and then they will call you for pitching. So the next process is the same. You will have a series of interview to confirm on the product, to confirm on the expenses, your milestone, and then your deliverables, and then follow up by approval by our board. Yes, I think, okay, this is just a recap, a summary recap on the difference of each of the product. So the CIP Accelerate and Ignite 1 is for the deep tech, and then the CIP Ignite 2 is any other tech. It's not fall under the deep tech category. It's considered fall under CIP Ignite 2, and the funding period is 1 year minimum, and it can go up to 18 months or 1 year and a half. For Accelerate is 1 year and a half up to 2 years. However, we will have our 2 years monitoring period. So we will monitor the company's sustainability for another 2 years. So the total, the agreement duration will be 3 years, which is 1 plus 2. And then the whole process from the date you apply and you are shortlisted from the pitching session to the approval committee, it will take around 2 months up to 3 months, but usually 2 months and a half. You're gonna receive the result whether you are approved or not on the application, because there are a series of process that we need to undergo, and then we do this by batches. For example, like this year, we already approved 2 batches, one in March and the other one is recently in July. So the next upcoming will be on September, and the last one is either October or early November, right? So that's it, my presentation. I keep it short because I would like to focus on the grant or the funding opportunity that provided by Cradle, because my other colleague, for example, like MDEC is covered already on the mentor parts, and also Diana from Magic is cover mostly what are the ecosystem is already about, and where but every one of us in the startup ecosystem, we are happy to help. If you reach out to us, if the service or the funding or other opportunity is not provided by our agency, we will liaise you to the direct agency or the correct agency that will assist you on this matter. I think that's all for me. Thank you. I pass over back to Fatiha.
Thank you, Hisham, for your presentation. Okay, any questions from the floor? Okay, let me just check the question section. No, sorry. Okay, no further questions for now.
No problem.
No problem. Okay, so I have one question for you. Actually, two questions. You
Okay.
mentioned about Ignite 2 is specifically for commercialization, right? But
Yeah.
just to confirm, the utilization of that is also allocated 40% for non-commercialization expenses. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Because some of the company, they come to us, right? They might want to refine a bit of their product or solution. So, but there is not a big expenses in there. It's just a small allocation. That's why we put that to be considered as part of the allocation that allowable to be used under the CIP 92.
I see. And you mentioned something about all the expenses are reimbursable. To how long back actually can they reimburse? Is it only, let's say, if they were picked up for this particular program, then whatever is moving that month and future, or there's some past expenses that they can actually claim for?
Okay, we start the expenses that you claim is start from the agreement date that you sign with Cradle, right? So, for example, you plan to join, I mean, to apply for Cradle funding. So you have already the projection of your expenses. What are you want to spend? What are you going to buy or you going to pay, right? So it's for
Yeah.
the 12-month period. So for the 12-month period, we will divide it into 4 milestones. Each milestone is around 3 months. So you can claim 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. But at the first, when upon you receive upon you sign the grant and the grant being passed to our portfolio management unit, so you have to attend the standard briefing. After the standard briefing, we will give you we call it as an advance payment. The advance payment is around 10% of the total grant approved. And then it somehow is allocated under your master one, so it will be deductible for during your master one after you submit the claim.
Okay. All right. Okay, there is a question. I think this is an open question to all the three partners. Are there any grants for social enterprise startups? Maybe Cradle can answer first.
I think for social enterprise, if I'm not mistaken, I think Diana can answer better than me because Magic have the My Scheme grant, if I'm not mistaken. But I do have one grant that for social enterprise is currently under Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia. They call as My SI grant. I think the amount, the content is up to 300,000. But I think Diana can help me into that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Diana.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Diana is not
Oh,
available to pick up the question. Yeah, the question now. But it's okay. What I'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
is,
But
yeah,
basically, to answer that, yes, we have. Is under the Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia. The one that recently launched in, I think it's June or July. Sorry, in June or May. They just recently launched. But I'm not sure whether the same grant under Magic is still available. But that also cover the social enterprise startup or entrepreneur.
okay. All right. Okay. What I'll do is that maybe I'll also get the answer from Diana later, and then I can email it to the participant that's asking. Okay, there's another question. Does the applicant have to wait for the grant to be approved by Cradle to kickstart the project? Because you were saying about um, expenses are only reimbursable from the day that the agreement is signed, right? So I guess the question saying that if such case, then should they just wait for the grant to be approved before they kickstart the
Okay,
project?
I get a lot of questions on this, right? For example, a company, when they enter credit application, they already have ongoing project or ongoing expenses that they
Yes.
already incur. So because this grant is reimbursement, so it's not only okay. We only cover the cost that whenever you already enter and you've been approved, there is the cost that we were gonna cover that you projected for the next 1 or 2 years, and then that will be covered under the credit grant. But it's not gonna fair to say that you only can kickstart the project once you've been approved, because if you don't kickstart the project, how you gonna claim the grant? I mean the expenses later, because you have to you have to put in your money first. Because reimbursement mean that you have to pay first, then you claim back to credit. So indirectly, the answer is you can start kick off the project expenses, and then once the grant is approved, then you can claim from the date that the grant agreement been signed. However, if the projection is a bit, for example, your first submission, you want to pay A, B, C, D, but after milestone 2 or 3, you find out, oh, you have E, F, G, you don't need to pay the B, C, D. So you can request, we have a chain request that you can request for the changes of the expenses. So that will be included into your, to be include into your expenditure, so that you can claim also in the future.
Okay, all right, that's clear then. So essentially, they can start off first using their own money. It will not disqualify them, even if after they have started the project. Okay, okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so no further question at the moment. So since we are already 11:50, I am not going to go on a break. I'm just gonna proceed with the scale journey section. Hopefully we can end maybe like from 12:10 or something like that, so that we don't overshoot. Okay, so this scale journey is specifically for the participants in this for this program. Basically, I just want to brief about the participation requirement and also the process that the participants are going to experiencing. So this program is actually open to any technology company operating in Selangor. So it can be whether you are a company already moving to cloud, means that you already use cloud for your project or for your product. So example, like the question that I received earlier, that they have already received some amount of credit from AWS under a different program. Can they then participate here? Yes, you can. If you're selected, you will be able to get that benefit as well. And it is actually we are looking for any new products or commercialization of an existing product. And so both, if you are moving to cloud, means that you're actually on-prem at the moment, not using any cloud technology, or you're actually already a company already on cloud. So both companies are essentially eligible to be part of this program. And some of the benefits that you will receive throughout the program. First, you will get free training and consulting by AWS. We have a series of used to be face-to-face training, but now due to the pandemic, we have, unfortunately, we have to do it via a webinar. And AWS Solution Architect will also be available to provide some technical consultation in order to help you to move to cloud or embrace the AWS technology. Participants will be able to develop their basic cloud skills, because they will be given access to AWS training guides and other resources on how to get started on AWS. Companies that are selected can nominate one technical person and one business person to attend series of free trainings that we are going to conduct together with AWS. And as part of the training, then you'll be able to access some practice labs and also quick start guides from AWS resources. Number 4, this is something that I think most appealing to all the participants. All participants selected for the program will be given AWS promotional credits, where we are giving out up to 5,000 US dollars AWS credits to allow them to develop their solution on AWS. And I also put in the URL there. You can actually go to the URL to see the list of services and also technology that you can use the credit, because the credit is not usable across maybe things like the AWS marketplace and such, but it is usable for, I think, the rest of AWS services. And last but not least, those companies who are interested to send their nominated technical and business staff to get an AWS certification, we are giving out discounts up to 50% for them to send their staff for the certification. um, So the skill journey can be divided into 6 different milestones. One, today is the first milestone, which is the seminar, so that we can brief you about what scale is all about, what does AWS have to offer to our participants, and what are the other things that the partners here, MDEC, Magic, and also Cradle can help our participants. Secondly, by registering to the program, later I will share you a link for you to register your interest to participate in this particular program. So by doing that, you need to submit your idea. We will basically evaluate your proposal based on the submission given. And thirdly, we will do the selection. So we will call the participants for a pitching session. Our partners, MDEC, Cradle, and also Magic, will be part of the pitching committee to evaluate your proposal as well. We might be calling some stakeholders to also listen to your pitching if we feel that it is related to the focus areas and also the specific requirement of that state agency. Number 4 is training. Training will be given to all the companies specifically on AWS, because some of you may not have used AWS before, so you can use this opportunity to train your staff about AWS. Number 5, to innovate. So basically then with the credits that we're giving, you can start to develop your solution on AWS. And last but not least, to elevate, we hope that after 6 months period of developing, you'll be able to deploy your MVP on AWS and present the outcome to SSDU for possible the opportunities and deployments in the state. And once you're ready, maybe we can also then forward or arrange a pitching as well with our other partners in respective to the fundings and also programs that they have. So the program component, today we are at the scale seminar. Later, scale registration. So I will share you the register of interest link, and then you will have to submit a proposal. Scale training, we have 3 different trainings that we are providing to our participants. One is Business Essential Day. Good news is that Best Day or Business Essential Day will be given as a complimentary to all the participants today. So regardless whether you end up registering for the scale program or not, we will still forward the invitation to you to your company today later when we are having the Best Day training. So Business Essential essentially is a 101 training on AWS specifically for business owners or the salespeople to further understand about what AWS has to offer and how does it impact your ROI and such. So there's some aspect in terms of the costing and calculations of the AWS services fee and such. And for companies specifically who are selected for this program, they will be given 2 more trainings. One is called Test Day, Technical Essential Day, and another one is Cloud Practitioner course. And at the end of that course, if any of the participants are interested to go for an AWS certification, we will provide you with a 50% discount voucher for that. During your innovation stage, we will conduct maybe a couple of focus group training depending on your focus area. So based on the proposal that we receive, and then we'll be able to basically segregate the companies, the participants into specific technology, maybe like big data or IoT and such, and do other focus group training pertaining to that subject. We will also offer mentoring sessions up to 3 days with our AWS solution architect that can help you to migrate your solution to AWS, or even plan your migration to AWS. A simple example of how the mentoring is conducted, what we did with last year's participant, is that they just want some guidance and estimation on how do they move the current on-prem solution that they have, and then create move it to cloud, and get some estimation on how it will cost, how much it will cost them, so that they can actually plan the credits that they are going to receive. And during the innovation stage, companies are expected to develop their MVPs, or the product commercialization, on AWS and deploy it by the end of 6 months. So we foresee that scale training to scale live will happening in between for 6 months, between the month of September to March. And if you are interested to be part of this program, please submit your proposal. It is the simple proposal to describe your idea for the product development and innovation on AWS Cloud. The proposal format will be emailed to all the participants that register, and the idea can either be migrating existing product to cloud or re-architecting an existing product to cloud. Solutions that will be beneficial to Smart Selangor vision or Selangor citizen will be prioritized. Again, please do look on the 7 focus area that we mentioned earlier. So if you are interested to be part of the scale program, you can register your interest on this URL. You can also scan the QR as well. Okay. So any question? Let me just try to read out the question here. Okay, actually there was some questions just now. There is a question from Michelle Woon for Mr. Hisham. Michelle said that we actually applied for Ignite too, but got rejected. And we hope to get to know what sort of improvement that can be done on their side in order to get the grant. Is there any department that we can seek support from, or should we just try applying for it again?
I think Michelle can email to me the deck so that I can have a review on that matter. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So Michelle can
I
email.
will put my email in the chat.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Hisham. Any question? Okay, Hisham's email is hisham@cradle.com.my. Any other questions specifically on scale journey that the companies would like to ask? Because my slide, that would be the end of today's session. This is the last slide for today. So I'm opening up the webinar for any questions for the next maybe couple of minutes. So if you are interested to send in your proposal for scale, please fill up the form at bit.ly/scale ROI register of interest, and we will then email you the proposal template. You don't have to be very detailed about the proposal itself, just so that we understand what is the idea that you have and what kind of product and solution that you intend to basically propose for this particular project. Okay, there is one question from Muhammad Yuzaimi. We already have a ready product or solution. Do we still put in our proposal? Yes, if you already have a ready product, you still need to submit your proposal because we need to understand what is the product nature and how then you are going to use AWS with your product. Like last year, we do have a couple of companies who actually already have a product running on AWS. Yeah, so we welcome any kind of solution, be it a ready product or still in the development. The reason why you need to put in your proposal is for us to officially, in a way, so that we know what kind of solution you're offering or you're trying to develop, which focus area that you are going to touch, and so that we will have sufficient information pertaining to the product itself. Must we use strictly AWS? Hold on. Anyone from SSDU wants to answer that? Hold on. Let me see whether. Well, basically, if your solution is not running on AWS for now, as far as I understand, then the benefits that we are giving out for the program will not be 100% beneficial for you, but it doesn't stop us from considering your product as well. There's another question from Mr. Chong. Can the participant focus more than one cover area? Can I know whether it's a ready product or is it under development? If it's a product that's still under development, I would advise you to focus on one area. But if it's a ready product that you want to introduce into the program, then you can put it together inside the same proposal. The register for interest link, okay, it's actually on the screen that I'm showing. That is the QR and also the link. But my colleague here will also put in the link there in your chat box as well. So essentially is https://bit.ly/scale ROI, or you can just scan the QR code there. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so if you do have any other question that you think, I mean, you have after the webinar, you can actually send it out to us to support@smartselangor.com.my. Where can we read more on the focus area so that we can choose the right focus area? There is some description about the focus area in Smart Selangor website, Smart Selangor portal. You could actually go there and see, read about it there. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, in Smart Selangor portal, there's also the Smart Selangor Action Plan document that they published. You can also download that document there from the portal itself. So again, if you do have any questions that you think of afterwards, do send it to us at support@smartselangor.com.my. You can, those who have specific questions pertaining to the programs that our partners are conducting, MDEC, Magic, and Cradle, we have shared their email addresses just now. You can also send a direct email to them as well. If there is no more question, I think I would like to thank everybody for your participation today, especially our speakers for the day. Oh, okay, one last question. We already have the customized product that currently using by our client, but we need to understand the specified needs from different industry and government and make the adjustment. So yeah, we can consider that a customization to an existing product, and you can also send it to us. You can also propose it as well. Yeah, you can send in your submission if you want, up to us for our consideration. Yeah. Okay, so if there is no more question, thank you again, everybody, for participating in today's webinar. Thank you for all the speakers and the input that have been given. I hope to receive all your registration of interest. We are looking for at least another 43 companies to be the recipient of all the benefits that we just highlighted. So do take this opportunity to develop and innovate together with Smart Selangor. Okay, again, thank you so much for your participation, and I bid you farewell and take care, everybody. Thank you.